The controversial match between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul is catching up the heat as Roy Jones Jr. has an interesting warning for the problem child. Roy believes that the 16-ounce gloves during the Tyson-Paul fight are to protect Jake Paul instead of Mike Tyson.
Well, you're not going to see Mike get hurt against Jake Paul. That's why they put on 16-ounce gloves and headgear. They didn't put that on to protect Mike. They put that on to protect Jake. You don't have to worry about Mike getting hurt at all. When I was in the ring with Mike, we weren't worried about Mike getting hurt. We were worried about me getting hurt. I'm a small guy for his weight class. So yeah, we don't want to see legends get hurt.
He also believes that if you put legends in the ring, the chances of getting hurt increase due to their inflated egos. But talking about this fight, Roy thinks that Jake is not skilled enough to hurt Mike Tyson.
So, you know, you do have to worry about that in a sense. If you put two legends in the ring together, two older legends, sometimes the egos come up and they will try to hurt one another. But in this Jake Paul situation, I don't think Jake Paul is good enough to hurt Mike. He may be powerful enough if they had on 8-ounce gloves.
When asked if he is concerned for Mike's health due to his old age, Roy insisted on his statement and said that the 16-ounce gloves are there to protect Jake, not Mike.
Considering that he's 58 years old, obviously we know that Mother Nature catches up on all of us. And as you said there, he is going with a novice. Jake Paul is not a boxer. But you just think, that kind of youth, that youthfulness that Jake Paul has, do you not have any worries whatsoever about Mike's health going into this fight?
No worries whatsoever. Like I said, the head get him 16-ounce gloves. That's not to protect Mike Tyson. That's to protect Jake Paul. Understand that. Please believe that.
Moreover, Anthony Joshua has come forward and finally talked about this fight. He shared his concerns for Mike's health and pointed out the unconventional age advantage that Jake has in this fight. AJ stated, "Tyson is older now. I pray that he comes out healthy. I think Jake Paul wins because of youth. That's the only thing." When asked about if influencers boxing is good for the sport, AJ stated, "Personally think it's really good. I think the boxing hardcores, they don't like it because they think, why are they disrespecting our sport? But I think that influencer brings all these people into boxing, which benefits everyone else. Everyone viewing helps." Eddie Hearn also gave his fresh take on this fight, and his opinion hasn't changed much. Him and his father Barry Hearn sat with Piers Morgan recently, where they were asked about their thoughts regarding this fight. Eddie stated that he finds this fight disgusted because the sight of a 58-year-old Mike Tyson returning to the ring doesn't please him.
I find it disgusting that a 58-year-old man who was my hero growing up, firstly has to even get back in the ring.
However, the Matchroom Boxing linchpin also understood the scale of the Netflix project. Eddie believes the people will tune in, and the fight will do good numbers. But even with all of this, he still doesn't like the idea of this fight happening.
I'm just going to give you my honest opinion, which is it will sell, people will watch, it will be a big event, and I don't like it.
Barry Hearn was also asked to give his opinion on the fight. He doesn't consider Jake Paul to be a legit fighter, but believes that Mike's age will catch up to him eventually. He thinks that Mike has to win quickly, or else it would be very unlikely for him to come on top. Barry stated, "If he doesn't win quickly, he can't win because, you know, I don't believe the other guy, Jake Paul, is much of a fighter. But he's fit, and he trains, and he's young. 2 rounds. No matter when you're 59 years old, 2 rounds max. Tyson is going to blow out from his backside if he's still going." British boxer Dave Allen also thinks that this fight is dangerous for Mike Tyson's well-being. Dave stated, "As far as the Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul fight goes, I think it's dangerous. Mike Tyson is one of the greatest heavyweights that ever lived, but at 58 years of age, he shouldn't be getting hit. Jake Paul is a young man. He's in shape, and he's ended up being a half-decent professional boxing prospect. So for me, it's dangerous, and it shouldn't be happening." David Benavidez believes that this fight is going to be a good one, but he's also concerned about Mike's well-being. However, he also believes that if Mike trains well enough, he's going to cause a lot of problems for Jake Paul.
Well, like, the only thing that worries me is Mike Tyson's age.
Yeah.
But Mike Tyson is always going to be a fighter at heart. You know what I mean? So it's really just how he prepares. And it's going to be a good fight, bro. Jake Paul, I think he knows it. I mean, it's Mike Tyson. You got to get ready. So we'll see how it turns out. But, you know, hopefully it's not, nothing too crazy.
UFC fighter Michael Venom Page is also not a big fan of this fight. He thinks that the sight of a knocked-out Mike Tyson at this age would be dreadful. MVP stated, "For me, that fight there is slightly different because yes, it's a gimmick. I guess it is. Definitely it's money-driven. But I just would never like to see just the potential of it. A Mike Tyson laying on the floor with Jake Paul standing above him. It just would be an ugly picture. You know, he's an older man now. He looks in great shape, and I'm sure he could still cause damage. But just the potential of that happening, I just wouldn't want to see just for somebody with that kind of legacy, especially that inspired myself and so many other combat athletes around around the world. I just wouldn't want to see that picture. So I think those kinds of fights, it's just kind of not necessary. These kinds of fights, I'm not the biggest fan of. NBA legend Shaquille O'Neal is also worried regarding Mike Tyson's health. He also questions Jake Paul about knocking out an old Mike Tyson. Shaq stated, "If you're Jake Paul, do you feel good about beating a 57-year-old Mike Tyson? I'm just saying, if Jake Paul does happen to win, does he really feel good about beating a 57-year-old?" He then pointed out Jake for just fighting for the money. He doesn't want to be a respected fighter. What Jake wants is to make money. People who follow Jake Paul don't buy Jake Paul's fights, so Jake Paul has to fight people who can sell actual pay-per-views. Sergio Mora also bashed Jake Paul for picking up a fight against an old Mike Tyson. Mora also highlighted the training videos that Tyson is posting and points out that posting videos is way different than getting in the ring.
Mike Tyson, 58. What is that good for boxing? Fighting a Jake Paul who's obviously in I think late 20s.
Look, man, I've always been a critic of Jake Paul and having him fight real fighters and boxers. But fighting a fighter that hasn't fought in over 20 years of Mike Tyson, he got beat 20 years ago. And
he lost the last 2 fights, got knocked out.
Yeah, he got knocked out the last 2 fights. So at 57, 58 years old, come on, man, you're fighting a senior citizen, and it's not fair. I mean, he can look like a beast, Mike Tyson, for like the 10-second clips that he posts on social media. Anyone could do. I could look like a killer right now on the pads for 10 seconds. But as soon as he turns that camera off, I'm going to be huffing and puffing and sore. Mike Tyson's not going to be a good look for his legacy.
Irish boxing legend Barry McGuigan believes that Mike is doing this fight solely for money. He also doesn't understand how people are letting a 57-year-old Mike Tyson near a ring. Barry stated, "You can be sure money's got something to do with it," McGuigan told The Sun. The governing body should be seriously badly reprimanded for that. Getting a 57-year-old guy into box. That's just really stupid and irresponsible. He shouldn't be near a boxing ring at 57 years old. It's just very irresponsible. It's very dangerous. However, Tyson Fury doesn't look much concerned for Mike's health and believes that people shouldn't criticize the fight as the two are going to make a lot of money out of it.
You got a legend in Mike Tyson. You've got a YouTube boxer who's come into the game and blew it up, and he's got millions of followers and millions of views and millions of eyes, good, bad or indifferent. Some people love him, some people hate him. So I think it's a really good spectacle for boxing. It brings a lot of people to the game. And listen, who am I to say, Mike Tyson shouldn't be boxing or Jake Paul shouldn't be boxing? Good luck to them. They're both going to make what I call ton of money out of it.
Former WWE champion Rob Van Dam also believes that this bout is really interesting. He thinks the way that people have different opinions on this fight is what makes it unique. RVD stated, "The whole concept is intriguing and exciting. The feedback has really pulled me into it because it's almost like politics, where the people seem so split and everyone is so positive that they're right. I've seen so many comments about, man, he's going to fight a 60-year-old man? Wait, he's saying he wants to be a serious boxer, and he's going after a retired 60-year-old. No one's going to take him seriously. Come on, dude." And there's the other ones like, "Nah, Tyson is going to hurt him no matter what." That's Mike Tyson. Both sides. Like I said, just like politics. Mike's former trainer Freddie Roach also has good things to say about Mike, as he believes that he'll do well in this fight.
I used to train Tyson. I like Mike a lot, and he does come by my gym once in a while to say hello and visit and stuff. And then all of a sudden this fight's coming up, and it's a younger, maybe stronger man. But no, I can't say stronger.
Ricky Hatton beautifully differentiated between the conflicting opinions of the people regarding the fight and said that it's okay if this fight happens. Ricky stated, "I get the pushing and the shoving and the name-calling and holding each other back, but some of the great champions of old will be turning in the grave watching that. To be honest with you, I'll be turning in my grave and watching it myself. But I've got my eyes open in the sense that this is the world that we're in now. We're in the entertainment business. YouTubers against MMA and MMA against boxers. I think that world can exist." The owner of Lace Up Promotions, Amr Abdallah, a name very close to Iron Mike, when it comes to his engagement with the Middle East, told the Mayweather channel regarding the fight. He stated, "There's still 4 months for the fight, so there's a lot of time to be able to announce a lot of things." However, he took cognizance of the rampant rumors regarding the fight. The promoter further clarified, "I can guarantee you there will not be headgear, and it's not going to be 18-ounce gloves. There will be regulation-sized gloves." Amr Abdallah also explained that the fight is mainly promoted by Jake Paul's promotion company, Most Valuable Promotion, and is looking to exceed expectations. Abdallah stated, "We're talking about 700 million people. That's what they're estimating. We'll have access to it. Almost 300 million households will be able to view this for free on the largest streaming platform in the world, Netflix. It's a massive, massive event." This was also confirmed by Jake Paul's business partner, Nakisa Badarian, who shared that the fight will do mad numbers. He also applauded the people who are criticizing the fight and believes that their criticism is helping them sell the fight even more. Nikisa stated, Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson gives combat sports its largest single distribution platform in history. Debate the fight all you want, which is exactly what we want, but equally accept that this is a great opportunity to bring boxing to the masses. Recently, Mike Tyson appeared in an interview and said that he's preparing himself for the fight. He doesn't believe that Jake is going to hurt him as he's faster than him, but he also states that he's scared to death for this fight.
I don't think I'll be smoking for this fight, and I think I'm gonna be really, really irritable and nasty. And this guy's gonna come, he's gonna try to hurt me, he's gonna be greatly mistaken. I don't think he's faster than me. Whatever I'm afraid to do, I do it. Like right now, I'm scared to death. But as the fight gets closer, the less nervous I become because it's reality. And in reality, I'm invincible.
Mike's recent interview has convinced UFC star Chael Sonnen that pride had a lot to do with Mike Tyson's final decision to get involved in this fight. Chael stated, Mike Tyson answered it during a recent interview without speaking about himself, speaking about his training. A number of guys would simply say, I've got far more experience than he, Jake Paul, does. I'm bigger than he is. Last thing to go is our power. Last thing to go is our power is terribly problematic because you're now admitting that's now a concession that everything else is gone. It's just a weird thing. Mike Tyson said, I can draw, I can sell tickets. I'm sitting here with you right now. Nobody else from my time, nobody else 60 years old, regardless of sport, has been invited in your studio. It's a great point. It's true. It was all true, and Mike Tyson does have pride. Michael Bisping also believes that Tyson is not in this fight for the money. He believes that money is just a small motivating factor for him, and in reality, Tyson is doing this just because he still has the fire inside of him.
Okay, says he doesn't need the money, and I'm sure he doesn't, although whatever he's going to get paid, I'm sure that doesn't hurt either. So it certainly will be a little bit of a motivating factor. He wouldn't do it for free, that's for sure. I think Mike Tyson's doing this because he misses it, you know, the thrill of it. When you're away from combat sports for so long, you know what I mean? It's still in you, you know, still got that old dog deep inside him, and he wants to go out and remind the world, this is fresh, this is a challenge, it's something to get in shape for. And it's an exciting venture.
But Jake Paul is not impressed by people who believe that it's going to be a one-sided match. He believes that he's younger, faster, and sharper, and can hit as hard as Mike Tyson. Jake stated, it's very 50-50, but to the people that don't think I'm going to win, it's like I'm younger, faster, sharper, and can hit at the same level that he can and be able to take his punches. However, Jake doesn't underestimate the fact that he's going to face the Iron Mike and thinks that he's a little bit scared for the fight. I'm a little scared because it is Mike Tyson, and I feel like when I look across the ring, I'm just gonna have a wow moment. He also acknowledged the pure dominance that Mike Tyson had during his career and regards him as the toughest opponent he'll face in his career. Jake stated, this is definitely the toughest, most savage, lethal opponent, regardless of age, because power is the last thing to go. So, what do you think about this controversial showdown? Are you a fan of this fight, or do you find it distasteful? Do let us know in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and check out some of our other videos on the screen right now.